What up? This B-Boy Rich.
And I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
And this Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast. We back with another great show today.
Yes. We got family in here. We got Drew Verde, and we got FBT Studios, one of the dopest studios in Michigan, man. My man Jake Bass in the house, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, I'm flattered for y'all to be here, man. We got a lot
Thank
of
you for
questions
having us,
to
man.
ask y'all, man. Man, you starting with you, man. You
With me?
yeah, man. You got a lot of foundational history here with your family in the studio. And talk about that, man. And talk about the plaques on the walls and you know the whole 9 yards, you know.
For sure. FBT Studios, my family's studio, was founded by my dad and uncle Jeff and Mark Bass, the Bass brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, that discovered Eminem
Right.
way back in the 90s and,
Right.
worked with him for, well over a decade and whatnot.
Word.
That's where the plaques come in to
Right.
play.
Right.
Right.
All that fun stuff, all the George Clinton projects, just everybody.
Dope.
Everybody's
That's
been through
dope.
there.
Man, we was thinking about yesterday. One of my favorite Eminem songs is "The Way I Am."
Yeah.
What's one of your favorites?
Oh man, one of my favorites. I've always loved Brain Damage
Oh,
from the
wow.
first record. But my absolute favorite would be Rock Bottom.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, just because that was, such a deep, dark record that, you could feel what he was saying.
Mm.
And for me, I could feel what my dad was saying through the guitar playing that he did on that record.
Wow.
And the combination of the storytelling mixed with the sadness of the music just was the whole package. And it truly represented the time that we were all in. Like, it was it. Rock bottom. Like, this had to work or not. And you could just feel that pain. And even to this day, when I listen to that record, it brings me right back
Wow.
to
It's alive,
that
yeah.
time.
Right.
When none of us had anything.
Right.
And it's really special. It will forever be special because it's just one of those records. It could only have been made going through that shit.
Right.
He couldn't make it today.
Man, Drew, you the next up, Drew. Man, what's one of your favorite?
I
Eminem?
appreciate that a lot. I would say like Lose Yourself.
What?
I feel like lose.
Okay.
There's a lot, but I say like Lose Yourself, and my favorite verse from him would be probably the one off of Airplanes. Not gonna lie, because it kind of like, I relate to it a lot, so it resonates with me. So I fuck with that one probably the most verse wise, but Lose Yourself song wise, I would say.
Good choice.
Man, you said George Clinton, man.
Yeah.
What was that? What's that like, man?
So
Man.
it's pretty crazy because I've known George as well my whole life. I was 3 years old when he was coming into the studio, and they were working with him. And he would come into the 8 Mile studio with a lot of the original Parliaments and everything,
That's so
doing,
dope.
before the Funkadelic shit, the doo-wop shit.
Yeah.
So I have home movies of that. So it's just ingrained into who I am, and my family, and it's incredible to witness absolute greatness as an artist. Obviously he created that whole shit, and to see that in real time also, there's really no words for it. I just absorbed as much as I could. My childhood, seeing good shit, seeing bad shit, I tried to focus on being a sponge
Right.
and just soak it all in. Like, this is how they do it. This is why it sounds like that. This is why they're talking about those things. Because you just get to see the great artistry. And it's amazing working with Drew because I get to see that with him too.
Mhm.
And the stuff he's going through in real time in his personal life, as well as, the stuff we go through in the studio. It's just all very important stuff to stand out. You know?
I got a question regarding that. You mentioned the doo-wop, because a lot of people don't know that doo-wop era.
Absolutely.
Parliament Funkadelic, right?
Yeah.
When the transition happened, like, was it all of a sudden, or was it like gradual? And was people like surprised, like, what's this shit?
You know, that was obviously way before my time.
Okay.
You know, but from what I know, it was a pretty fascinating journey for him to go through that and experiment a lot.
Right.
You know, with sounds and recording techniques and working with different musicians and all the musicians that he worked with and are still working with.
Right.
They are the absolute masters of their craft.
Okay.
You know, singing, you know, guitar, drums, bass.
Right.
I mean, you've got legends in their own right that came out of that. Bootsy Collins, Eddie Hazel.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Like aliens, absolutely.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
so it's just a really, really crazy thing. And I think, you know, it had to happen that way.
Was it any diapers in the studio?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to see all of those guys.
Right.
And, you know.
We had the magazine. It was a publication first.
Yes, yeah.
And George Clinton called my crib one day and was like, "Y'all keep going," and I was just blown away.
Yeah.
He seen a number in the book.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us going now, you know.
Right. I love that.
Man.
It was just his birthday too, so.
Wow, happy
birthday,
birthday,
George.
Happy birthday to him.
Yes.
82, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
Still doing it, still performing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Wow.
incredible, and it's great that you know, we're still in touch with him all the
Right.
time. We talk to
Dope.
him, and you know, it's
Y'all
amazing.
did drink champs with him or something, right?
My uncle was
Okay,
there
wow.
for the drink champs
That was
a
dope.
couple months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's dope.
crazy.
Did you ever see yourself doing anything else other than music?
Me?
Yeah.
He said-
You know, I get asked that a lot, but I really don't know how to do anything else.
Wow.
Right.
This was it. I got the bug myself when I was 8 years old. I
Okay.
knew, you know, growing up in the studio from the time I was a toddler, you know, I just was always around it. So I picked it up by ear,
Okay.
you know, and I started playing instruments, and it just happened. And, you know, my dad and uncle would look at me like,
Oh,
"Yep,
cool,
you're
man.
fucked.
Right.
This is who you are."
Right.
You know, and it's pretty amazing because I enjoy all aspects of it. You know, being the musician, the composer, the producer, the engineer.
Right.
And it's just because I watched it all. And it's
Okay.
great working with Drew because he's an engineer also, and
Okay.
he understands that side of things.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it makes our workflow like this.
Yeah, it's a lot more
we,
easy.
we spit out songs in an hour
Yeah.
sometimes,
dope.
like
Man.
complete
Insanely
songs.
quick.
How did
Yeah.
y'all connect?
Oh man, that dude right there.
Brodi
Ghanz.
All right.
Brody, shout out to
Yeah,
Brodi
yeah, you
Ghanz.
could tell that story.
Yeah, he introduced us. I met him at his studio,
Okay.
FBT Studios, and I think it was the first time we didn't work on music. We talked, and then the second time, which was shortly after that, we did our first record, and that one was like an hour and a half. I think we did it
Yeah, from
scratch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was nothing,
From
no
scratch.
beat made ahead of time. It was just like, "You like this?" And he was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then,
Yeah.
"You like this? Yeah."
Yeah.
"You like this? Yeah."
Yeah. And then after that, it just started like we noticed the chemistry was there, and then
Right.
we just kept working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make fat music, man. For
Oh,
real.
thank you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Man, talk about you being a sponge, man, to greatness, man. What you learn, like offense and defense, from him, you know, as a mentor.
Offense and defense. What I learned from him as a mentor. Basically, when we first came in as like when it comes to like working together, we both have the same mindset towards it. You know what I'm saying? Really, that's what I think we both just bounce ideas off of each other when we're working on something. It's like he gets what I'm saying and I get what he's saying because we both
Finish
are
each
musically.
other's sentences.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like we're just a great team because it's like 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I can't really say exactly in the studio. Because I've been doing this for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for a long time. I've been so used to
videos,
right,
all that.
yeah. I've been so used to doing it for a minute. So, I really was just like relieved that when we got in the studio that I found somebody that was, he's consistent with it. Like he can quickly come up with any type of beat you want on the spot or any type of whatever type beat. because he's a virtuoso. Is it virtuoso? Is that what it's called? Virtuoso.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play. You can play every instrument in the world.
Yeah.
So it's like in that realm. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a beat maker, so I don't really know the terms for producing. So
you see colors, man. It seems like when you rhyme and you know you can turn it. You could turn it to BT, VH1, and MTV.
Thank you.
Country music channel.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's how your style is.
Yeah.
So is it more that you understand what sound you want, and then you like hum it to him, and he's like, okay, here it is.
Yeah, like we for like the first half of the album, we recorded it all at the studio.
Right.
And then the other half I recorded at home, and then I'll send it over to him, and then he'll mix it up, and he'll give input, tell me what, and I'll give him input about the beat, what certain things I want to be tweaked, and what he wants to be tweaked for certain things.
Okay.
We've done it that way. We're still about to, I don't know about tonight now, but we were about to do some record and stuff and do this, but I don't know, but we're still about to link back up and work on some music together though, but we've definitely been like first half, and then this so far after the first half we're doing like 13 songs on that album, so it was like the first 6 songs we did, or 7 songs we did was together.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of.
We got about 3 albums right now.
We have a lot. We definitely have a lot. We have like I don't know how much, maybe like 30. I would say 25 to 30.
Said something coming soon. The project. I know the single is out, things like that.
We got 2 singles out right now.
Yeah.
Videos out right now.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of them coming up soon.
Yeah.
Right. So who's the hardest critic between you two? Like, is it who says no? This is not it.
I got an answer for it.
Yeah.
So for the beats, like when he sent specific beats, that he'll send over is like certain things I'd want tweaked.
Right.
And then it's like for the videographer side, when I'm like shooting video, there's certain things he wants tweaked. So I feel like the most critique he gets from me is like when I'm like want a beat to be a specific way.
Okay.
And then for me, from him is like just a video, like do this, add this, fix that.
Right. Yeah. Which is why it works so well.
Yeah.
Because he's hearing things that I might not hear, and then I'm seeing things that he might not see because we get so close to it.
Right.
So it's amazing that it's just us working on this shit. Just the two of us.
Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes we get too close to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Gotta
it's like,
back
oh
off
shit,
a little bit,
we need another opinion here.
Right. Yeah.
Different expertise. Or what.
Your video's dope, man. All that stuff is cohesive with what you're doing. Tell us something, man. What was the first time you got the bug to do music? What was the first song you heard to do music?
I was 13. You know about
Beat It or something with Michael Jackson?
No, I didn't get the bug to do music with that, but I definitely was a huge fan of him growing up. I just never wanted to do music from listening to Michael Jackson.
Because you got it all.
Yeah. But it was, I'm going to be honest. It was Lil Wayne, when I was 13, the first song that I've ever written to was Bedrock from Lil Wayne.
Which you can tell, major influence as well as Michael.
Come closer to the mic, Jeff. Or putting it back towards you like this a little bit. Yeah. All right. And you can scoot up a little bit more too.
2013. Not 2013. When I was 13, 15 years ago, 2000. Maybe, 2007,
you talking about that posse
maybe?
cut they did, Bedrock?
Yeah, that would have been 08, 09.
With Mills and the whole crew on there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I because coming off of being a huge fan of Michael Jackson, I really was just into the melodies and stuff like that in hip hop. So when I heard Bedrock, I seen all of them on the song together with Wayne, Drake, Nicki, and all them. And I just started feeling, I was like, man, I want to be like that. I like how they're doing as a team. It's like a bunch of rappers getting together and doing whatever the fuck they feel. I mean, cause whatever they feel like doing, whatever they feel like doing. No, it's like just whatever they feel like doing. And at that time, it kind of stood out to me because I was like, I didn't think Wayne would do that. I seen him do Fireman and stuff like that, and other stuff before that with like the Black Boys and stuff. So I was like, I didn't expect that. So when I seen that, I seen versatility and just a bunch of different artists.
Right.
So it kind of like gave me a bug. But then from then, I had taken listening to the lyrics more serious, and I started listening to Eminem, and then Eminem's life related to mine. So I was like, nah, he makes me want to rap harder. He makes me want to, you know what I'm saying? He makes me want to actually put my, like, because he tells stories so well.
Right.
I was like, he makes me want to do something like that. I want to get on that level. And I think that's what furthered the bug. It kept it,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? For like the competitive side lyrically, was hearing that because I relate to it. So, yeah.
Well, what tracks M did at your studio?
Oh man, I mean, the FPT Studios, he was working there pretty much from '04 to the end of '07.
Okay.
Before he got his own place.
Okay, word. Okay.
But before that, my dad and uncle were working out of 54 Sound.
Right.
And before that, they had the 8 Mile Studio.
Right.
Which is where they did all the Infinite and some shady.
Wow. Yeah. Man, I wanted to ask you, Drew. Man, remember when we did a couple shows together, but when you did the joint about your mom and just how you had the crowd, man. Somebody reminded me of that the other day, man. Talk about that song you got about your mom, man.
Mind of an Addict. I wrote that. I wrote and recorded it. I think around maybe less than a month after she had passed. I just felt like I wanted to vent and let out my perspective on like drugs and this type of stuff that she was taking. Like she was, heroin, any pill that she could find type. She was like that. So I just was in one of them headspaces where I wanted to talk about that and really have other people that don't know about that type of world get to vividly understand it by listening to what I had to say. So, that's really. And in the show, when I did the show, Brody, he laid on the ground and it was he pretended like he was overdosing at the very end of it. When I at the old Miami, I think it was at old Miami.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and I remember it was like I think it was the best response I've ever gotten. He just told me about that. Oh yeah, the Detroit was dope.
Yeah, we did a Detroit tribute to Dilla. You came out on rock.
Yeah, that one was probably the best one actually.
Yeah, I watched like a bunch of like battle-y MCs look at you and was like, they were sponsored by Kleenex, bro. It was like. It was dope to see how you captured the crowd like that, man.
Yeah.
I hope the world get to hear that on your project, man. Make sure, because
they definitely.
People gotta see the lighter side and the darker side.
We were just actually talking about redoing that.
Well, yeah, we were, because I was about to say, you told me Lo Lewis or something brought it up recently to him and told him about the whole Miami situation and the performance and stuff. And I didn't realize anybody thought like that. So he said that Lo Lewis said that. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was that memorable. I was like, okay, that was cool. It kind of lit a fire under me a little bit more to like, rap in that type of way.
Man. You could do it all, bro. Storytelling. You could do the pop records. You could.
Yeah.
You dope with it all, man.
Tell
us, man. What y'all really want to say to the Detroit culture, the hip hop culture here? Like, what words you got to say, especially you with some different OG status,
Yeah, it's exciting to be working on this project with him because I think that he is so fresh in his way of rapping and his way of singing, the way he can tell stories but also put it together melodically. I haven't heard many artists coming out of here doing that.
Right.
And I think that's so unique and so interesting, where Detroit is his home, but we can take that everywhere because people can latch on to that. It's not just him battle rapping and trying to defeat somebody. It's him telling his story, but he's also capturing you by singing.
Motown.
Sometimes.
He's a Motown baby.
Yeah, and it's great. It's
right.
and that's why we've done so many songs together, is because we spit them out like that. 'Cause I can play something on the guitar and he can sing right to that because it's so melodic, you know. And it's been really exciting to piece these records together. But it still has the Detroit sound to it, just by default.
Right.
We're both
The
from
confidence and pride of
yeah, and we're still very much the underdog spirit. And even though he's got nice, clean, polished records, it's still him.
Right.
The artist himself still has that to prove.
Right.
And I love that. So I think really for Detroit, it's a fucking treat.
Something fresh, funky fresh.
That was a great answer.
Yeah. Let me ask you: is there any dream collaborations, hip hop or R&B?
Dream collaborations, I would have to say, would be Wayne and Eminem.
Okay. Get with him, man. This is the new for real.
Wayne and Eminem. To meet T.I. To be honest, Nas too. Like, I think that would be.
That's definitely a dream.
Dope, based off of
Down with
that. Yeah. As of dream, that's about really it. As dream wise. But yeah.
Dope.
Man, one more, man. You a new father, man.
Yeah.
Talk about what that's like, and you document the love for your son, man. Talk about the joy of that, and the message you got for fathers, and the fatherless kids, and the fathers who run away from the kids, because you hold it down, bro.
I feel like for me, it's like I've throughout my life, a lot of people haven't, but I've throughout my life learned to love myself, and a lot of people, like I said, haven't go throughout a whole lifetime and don't actually genuinely have love for themselves. So it's like when I had a baby, that's part of me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to do what I have to do to make sure he's good. And my dad wasn't around, so it's like that played a part too. But I think it just, for me, that's really what it is. I really have like gained a lot of love for me, and I put all that into him too. It's like my other half, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult to fully explain and express it, but like, yeah, like
you creating another superhero.
I'm sure I want to, yeah. That would be cool as hell. Whatever he chooses to do.
Word up, man.
Yeah.
You got something to say, B-Boy McCoy?
That's it. I'm blown away.
Man, we appreciate you, Drew Verde, man.
Thank you.
Man, FBT, man, we're going to get some studio time and get back in there around me and B-Boy right
here. Yeah, we're ready.
Man, Jake Bass Brothers, legendary. Man, shout out to Brodi Ghanz.
Can I add one more thing in?
Indeed, go ahead.
Okay, so the project that we're working on is, that me and Jake are working on, is called Mixed Emotions. The acronym for that is me.
Oh, that's dope.
That's dope.
Yep, and it's gonna be I'm gonna
been good at shit like that, man.
Thank you. And I'm gonna say this too, so it's set in stone, so people know that I did it. Right. So so there's 13. There's gonna be 13 songs on there because there's 13 letters in Mixed Emotions. So the track list is going to spell out the actual name of the project.
Oh, that's dope.
And as it starts off as like a relationship, like with what is it? It starts off the lovey-dovey stage, the feeling of it. It's like the feeling of when you first get with somebody. It's the lovey-dovey. It's the lustful stage, and then it gets to toxic, and then it gets from the toxic stage as it goes down mid-album, and then it goes into after the toxic. But it's all like in the midst of it is explaining my life and why, you know what I'm saying, what I'm currently going through, and then going kind of like some of the songs are like kind of backtrack into my past. Right. So it's like giving a visual. It's like I'm trying to build a concept with that. Then another project, that's pop. That's what I'm doing. It's mainly sing. I'm rapping on it too. Right. But it's mainly like commercial. I have another project that I'm doing with Brodi Ghanz, and it's called, we don't really know actually the name fully yet, but as of right now, we're going with Evolve. Right. Because I was trying to, I plan on making clothes, so I came up with a bunch of different sayings and stuff like that, and and the way that one was, I made that one, I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool to put on a project cover. But on that project, I'm just rapping. It's just hip hop. So it's like that's where I'm telling the stories. That's like the one where it would be like when I said Nas
Right.
would be good to have him on that type of, on that one.
Right.
But yeah, like everything produced by Brodi Ghanz too on there.
Right, dope.
Yeah.
He got some dope
What was
beats,
that song he played? He played at that event we did.
I think I played
It was
2
dope.
by mine and 2 by.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
He
dope.
came.
Oh, you heard?
He came out
Yeah,
to a chronic
he
event.
made sure we
Yeah.
played.
Made sure,
It was dope.
Yeah, he rocked. It sounded. Man, the
It
crowd
sounded
was
good,
like
yeah.
mesmerized, bro.
That's good.
Yep.
Dope.
That's good.
It was clean, crisp sound, man.
Played
Good
like
music.
4 songs.
Yeah.
DJ kept asking me to play more. So we got
Yeah,
more.
yeah, it was dope. Clean,
Dude
real
was
clean.
playing with a mic.
Dope.
Yeah,
Do a show, so I was like,
Yeah.
I got plenty.
That's
more.
dope.
that's dope.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
Man, it's dope to see you here with us, man. The future, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
We looking forward to the album to come out, man. And I can't wait till you start doing movies because you got an eye with that camera.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that eventually.
Y'all get with him with videos and documentaries. He's real dope, man. Funky, fresh in the flesh, man. We appreciate
Where
y'all.
can people find y'all?
Oh,
IG,
yeah.
YouTube.
You
all
go
that
first.
good stuff.
Okay. IG is Drew Verde Music.
Okay.
Spell your last name.
Okay.
Green, right?
Yeah, it's green. Green.
Verde
Just
Green.
the color green. Yeah, and I did. It's Drew Verde because the last name I had was Drew Green,
Right.
but I'm Italian, so I was like, okay, so
Verde's
green Italian is Verde, so
Right.
Drew Verde. So I took it like back to the roots a little bit with that, and it's Drew Verde Music
Right.
everywhere. On
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, Drew Verde Music.
All right.
And mine would just be Mr. Jake Bass.
Right.
MR Jake Bass.
Right.
IG, TikTok, Threads, all that bullshit.
Word. All right.
It's
Thank
all
y'all,
government
man.
name, just Mr. Right. That's dope.
Thank you for letting
Oh,
us.
thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Thanks for
Man.
coming
Thank
out.
you.
You got us putting the nation under a groove, man.
Right.
That's right.
I appreciate you, man.
All right.
Peace out. Thank
All
you.
right.
Funky Fresh in the flesh.
Flesh.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank
All
you.
right. And we out.